Okay. So once again, we talk about VPN. VPN is nothing but a virtual private network. Okay. Actually, I couldn't start the recording button. So anyway, just repeat the definition. So VPN is two or more remote devices that transmit the data to each other securely over an unsecured network such as internet. VPNs typically leverage tunnel to encapsulate the data packet. VPNs typically leverage what? Tunnels. Just now I told you tunnels to encapsulate data packet, most commonly within IP packets for transmission over the IP-based network. Encryption is used to ensure data privacy. Authentication is enforced to protect the integrity and confidentiality of the data. So this means that an employee is using laptop or smartphone or IoT devices can connect through a VPN. Okay. Now the term, when we talk about term VPN, who is going to do the VPN? When a question arises, who's going to do the VPN? So VPN is, normally I said VPN is what? A service offering secure, reliable connectivity over a shared public infrastructure, that is internet. And just because internet is shared, it is scalable and cheap. I told you. Now the question arises that if VPN is a service, who's going to do all those? Who's going to maintain the confidentiality of the data? Who's going to maintain the integrity of the data? Who's going to give you authentication of data? Who's going to do anti-replay? And the name comes in front of us is IPsec. When I told you about tunnel, there were a lot of protocols in the beginning who were also giving you tunnel or encapsulation protocols. Like in layer 2, we used to have frame relay and ATMs. Layer 3, I think, yeah. And then in layer 2, we used to have layer 2 tunneling protocol, PPTP, point-to-point tunneling protocol, GRE. GRE is also tunneling protocol, encapsulation protocol. So there are some L2 protocols, there are some L3 protocols. They also provide tunnels. They also give you tunnel between two ends. But the problem is, if they are also giving you tunnel and this IPsec is also giving you tunnel, then why you prefer IPsec? The difference between this GRE protocol and IPsec, if I compare GRE, generic routing encapsulation, and IPsec, the major difference is GRE is going to give you tunnel and carry any protocol, any routing protocol, any non-routing protocol, any IP protocol, but he is lacking in security. He won't give you security. This is the drawback of other protocols, that they don't give you security. And when it comes to IPsec, IPsec commits internet protocol security, that yes, I'm going to give you data confidentiality, I'm going to give you data integrity, I'm going to give you authentication of every packet, and I'm going to give you anti-replay service also. So IPsec is the framework of open standard. That means IPsec doesn't belong to Cisco, doesn't belong to any other company or vendor. IPsec is an open standard that provides data confidentiality, data integrity, and data authentication between participating peers at the IP layer. It is an IETF standard. IETF means Internet Engineering Task Force standard. It doesn't belong to some vendor. It is an open standard. And it do carefully everything. That is why he's at top position. So anybody telling you that if you have done IPsec VPN between two locations, then definitely it is one of the safest and strongest tunneling method you are doing. Okay. So now who's going to do the definitely protocol? I told you IPsec. But again, IPsec protocol is a suite of protocol. Suite means bunch, bundled of protocol. There are sub protocols which are working under IPsec. So I hope you understood the flow. Always remember in VPN, if you take a notebook, if you take any book, definitely they will give you some explanation. But I want you to understand VPN in a flow. That what is VPN? First, why we do VPN? I explained why we do VPN, because we are using internet, public infrastructure. We are sending a traffic over internet, public infrastructure, which is not at all secure. It is unsecured. The network is unsecured. Okay. So if you have this kind of network, okay, if you are sending your data through unsecured network, then definitely you will go for VPN technologies. And when we are talking about IPsec, because I told you why, because there will be a question arising in your mind that if you already have protocols doing tunneling, they are called tunneling protocol, layer 2 tunneling protocol, point-to-point tunneling protocol, frame relay, encapsulation. Frame relay also do encapsulation, tunneling protocol. Frame relay is definitely a service also and a protocol also. Now it is stopped. But years back we used to have frame relay. We used to do encapsulation. GRE, quite old than IPsec, quite older than IPsec. Carry any damn protocol. I remember during those days we used to do GRE tunnel between two locations, and it is very easy to configure GRE. You don't have to sit for a lecture and understand what is GRE. And you won't believe the overhead of GRE packet is also very less. IPsec is very process oriented, memory oriented, configuration oriented. You need expertise to configure VPN. You need understanding of VPN to configure VPN. There are a lot of command line, or if you're doing it with GI, okay, you have to understand things and then you have to do. No doubt wizards are there. So if we have a very light protocols, why we are using? Because we want security. If you want security, definitely you have to spend. You cannot say, I don't want to spend and I want the security at the same time. No, you have to spend and then only you will get the security. So here, I told you IPsec is one of the robust protocol, and it is a framework of 3 sub protocols. One is IKE, Internet Key Exchange. Now, Internet Key Exchange is the synonymous word for ISA-KMP. The actual name was ISA-KMP. ISA-KMP. What is the full form? Internet Security Association Key Management Protocol. And the synonymous word for ISA-KMP is Internet. And you won't believe now we have 2 versions in IKE. Okay. IKE version, and this is IKE version 1 is almost gone now. We always prefer now IKE version 2, because IKE version 1 and 2 is having a lot of differences. We'll see what is the differences we have. So now somebody is asking you, like, that, okay, I have taken a beautiful house and I want to decorate it. So I appoint one interior designer. You think that interior designer know how to do plumbing or flooring or painting? No. He is going to recruit people to do that job. It is his responsibility to give the idea to these experts, or you can say, if I want to make a furniture, good bed, wardrobes, I will immediately up. I means the interior design will have a one expert fellow who's good in doing furniture work, one fellow who is good in flooring, one fellow who is good in plumbing, painting, false ceiling. Lot of stuff is there to design one house. So when it comes to IPsec, IPsec is also having three sub protocols or three main protocols. Out of that, one is ISA KMP. Now again, I told you we have two flavors in that, IKE version 1 and IKE version 2. So what it does, what is this sub protocols do actually? Provide framework for negotiation of security parameters, establishment of authenticated keys, encapsulation security payload, provide framework for encryption, encrypting, authenticating, and securing of data. Authentication header provides framework for authenticating and securing the data. So you see, IKE version is looking after the negotiation of security parameters. Encapsulation security payload is looking after encryption, authentication, and securing. Authentication header is just looking after authenticating and securing. So nowadays, people, we don't use AH. We always consider IKE version 2 and ES. We don't want AH because AH is doing something which is only one thing, like authenticating and securing. But you see, ESP is doing what? Encrypting, authenticating, and securing of data. So ESP is one of the best sub protocol of IPsec. Okay, and ESP carries the protocol number of 50. AH carries the protocol number of 51. They are considered as protocol. The protocol number is 50 and 51. And ISA KMP is UDP port number 80. UDP port number 500. UDP port number 500. Protocol number 50, protocol number 51. Same. IKE provides a framework for the negotiation of security parameters and establishment of authenticated keys, provides a framework for authenticating and securing. Now, moving slowly towards IPsec. We understood that we need 100% confidentiality of the data, integrity of the data, and definitely anti-replay service also. Because I told you, I'll just write down this point also. Okay. Now, when we talk about IPsec also carries two modes. One is tunnel mode and one is transport. Okay, IPsec is having two modes. One is tunnel mode and transport mode. Now you must be wondering what is tunnel mode and what is transport mode. So let me explain you. First, we'll see the definition. In tunnel mode, the actual IP address and the original IP address along with all the data within the packet are protected. How? So we'll just see with this slide. Suppose you are having two routers. Always remember, VPN can be done between two routers. VPN can be done between two firewalls. It can be next generation firewall or ASA. VPN can be done between router and a firewall. VPN can be done between two different vendor firewall also, or two different vendor routers also. So VPN can be done between two routers. VPN can be done between two firewalls. VPN can be done between router and a firewall, or between two different vendors firewall also. Because I told you it is an open standard IETA format. The open standard framework. Now, what are the different types of VPN which I forgot? VPNs are site-to-site VPN. Sometimes we call it LAN-to-LAN VPN also. LAN-to-LAN. Now you must be thinking, what is site-to-site VPN? Site-to-site VPN is always between head office and branch office, or between two branch office. Point to point. You can also say point to point VPN, LAN to LAN VPN. In site to site or LAN to LAN VPN or point to point VPN, the intelligence is on both the site, R1, R2. This fellow is the head office. This fellow is the branch office. And in between, public infrastructure, ISP. Now suppose there is a machine here who belongs to network 192.168 and his IP address is 10.2. This is some public IP address facing internet. Okay. This is some different LAN network. Say example, if machine A from head office want to communicate with machine B in branch office, what will be the layer 3 packet? The layer 3 packet will be, source will be this IP address, that is 10.2. Destination will be 172.16.10.2. There will be some source port. There will be some destination port is doing HTTP. Layer 2 information, that is the source MAC address and the MAC address of router gateway. All this information will get encrypted. Which mode? Tunnel mode. Source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, source MAC, destination. All this information will get encrypted and there will be a new header and footer. So what I do, I'll place this here and I'll put a new header and footer 12.1.1, 12.1.1.2. I'm just making it simple. So if you see this slide, you will come to know. In tunnel mode, what happened? A new IP header is being added. ESP header is there. And you see the whole, this of the portion is encrypted. This is the actual IP header. Data. Data. Yes, I forgot to mention the data in that design. Paintbrush. So data is very important. So source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, source MAC, destination MAC, data, everything will get encrypted. That means if any time the hacker intercept the traffic over internet from site A and site B, that is head office and branch office, he will not be able to get the information because they are all encrypted, hidden. So always remember, confidentiality of the data can be maintained through encryption algorithms. Integrity of data can be maintained through hash algorithms. Both are different. Confidentiality through encryption algorithm. Hashing through, integrity through hash algorithms like MD5, SHA. Encryption can be decrypted, but hashing, once your hash value is removed, you cannot bring those actual values or actual information. I showed you during the routing protocol authentication. So when it comes to tunnel mode, which is the default mode, you don't have to do anything. When you configure VPN, that is site-to-site VPN. Okay. So I left in between that we can do site-to-site VPN, that is line-to-LAN VPN. And second is remote VPN. Very important. Because just now in that beginning, I told you, with AnyConnect software, and this is SSL, that is browser-based VPN. Browser. Like just now, I want to see my balance. Definitely, I won't see in front of you. Okay. But suppose I want to see my balance and I'm going to my bank website. The URL in your address bar should be HTTPS. Yes. The address of the status bar displays the padlock symbol. Yes. Verified by DigiCert Incorporation. Click the padlock to see if it is certified. Yes. SSL is the protocol. Now see, for common man, they don't want to disclose more about SSL because they won't understand. It is a technical thing. But we should know what is SSL, secure socket layer. So now when I give authentication, that is my username and password, I'll be logged into my bank account. Again, just because they want to test if I'm not a computer, they will give me some captcha image. They will send OTP also before login. You can also use virtual keyboard so that somebody might not use some kind of keyloggers. So if I want to write down my password, this will not be logged by keyloggers. Why? Because now I'm not typing anything. I'm just clicking on the pad. Thank you. So suppose my account detail is what? RDWSA, suppose. My username. And this is my password. Okay. So you can make a note of my username and password, so you'll get money. So suppose this is my username and password. So always there is a never respond to any pop-up, email, SMS, or phone call. No matter how appealing or official looking, seeking your personal information such as username and password, mobile number, ATM card detail. Complain, continuously warnings, complain about phishing, report phishing. Phishing sites are there. VeriSign is one of the very big corporation who is looking after the security of your VPNs. Baltimore Technologies, Microsoft Corporation, VeriSign. They're all very big companies who provide you security, end-to-end security. SBI is paying them because they want their customers to have a safe transaction. They want their customers to enjoy transaction from this website, online banking of SBI. People don't have time to visit banks. They don't have time to stand in a queue for money. They want to transfer this money instantly. I remember people used to visit post office and banks to send money to their relatives or to their family, money order. Now they don't do that. If the account is having some money which is being directly given by the company, salary account, they can easily transfer those money to their family anywhere in the country. Yes, abroad also they can transfer, but in India it is very difficult to transfer. Okay, from other country you can easily bring the money. So first is site-to-site VPN, LAN-to-LAN VPN, point-to-point VPN between two locations where the expertise is on both the side. Second is remote VPN. Now in remote VPN, what happens? Now I'll tell you. In remote VPN, the user is actually traveling. He's either sitting on airport, he's sitting on in his client's office, he's the, you can say, see, this is the topology, VPN topology. Site to site, site A and site B. Untrustworthy transport network, point-to-point tunnel, hub and spoke tunnel, full mesh tunnel, hub to spoke, spoke to spoke. See, these are the different type of VPN topologies. Remote VPN. Remote VPN means user is traveling. User is traveling. Okay. And when he's traveling, he's sitting with some, he's using some free internet, either from hotel or from airport. So when he is using this kind of infrastructure to reach the server of their office company, it is not safe. And for that reason, we want this, there should be a tunnel between the user and the company server. And who is the server? It can be router, it can be firewall, anything. So you see a user is there. Okay. This is a user who is using internet and trying to get connected to firewall or router and form a tunnel between firewall and user. This is called remote VPN. And in remote VPN, just now I showed you was clientless VPN. I am visiting bank website. SBI. It is a browser-based VPN. And the first flavor is AnyConnect VPN. AnyConnect VPN is more safe compared to browser-based VPN. But you only think now how bank will give AnyConnect software to his 1 lakh customer or more than 1 lakh customers. How it is possible? So they will go and use browser-based VPNs. Now company is having 50 employees. Out of that 20 employees always visit outside. So he can give 20 AnyConnect VPN solution. These 20 employees. So it is possible that you can go with AnyConnect VPN and you can go with browser-based VPN. It depends on the situation and which area you want to implement VPN. Clear? So the important part is what are the different type of VPN we have. I hope you understood site-to-site VPN and remote VPN. In remote VPN, you have two flavors, AnyConnect VPN and SSL VPN. Okay, so now come back to two modes that we were discussing, tunnel mode and transport mode. Now in the tunnel mode, okay, in the tunnel mode, I told you the whole data is getting encapsulated. Whole IP address, IP headers are getting encapsulated or encrypted. And then finally, the headers are being inserted. So what happened? It is one of the safest mode in IPsec. But in case if you are looking for your headers to get exposed, because see, you are trying to protect the whole packet. But in transport mode, you are not doing like that. You want to safeguard only your data. You don't want to protect your headers. Because in some cases, there are requirements that you have to send your original IP addresses as a source and destination. So in that case, you can go for transport mode, but by default, it is tunnel mode. So I hope you understood what is the difference between tunnel mode and transport mode. I have written a definition also of tunnel modes. You see. In tunnel mode, the actual IP address and the original IP header along with all the data within the packet are protected. Tunnel mode creates a new external IP address header that contains the IP address of the tunnel endpoints, the router and firewall. So there are two devices. So like for example, just now I showed you one thing. You see, in the site-to-site VPN, suppose if I'm making a point-to-point VPN, this is the this is the IP address who's going to act as a header and footer between two locations. Okay. So these are also called peers. For site A, this is a peer. For site B, this is a peer. Peer means a device, or you can say a location which is forming a tunnel. And always remember, tunnel is bidirectional. Bidirectional means any traffic which is coming from site A to site B. So who is your initiator? Site A. Site A router. Who is your responder? Site B router. Like, if I give a call to my friend, who is the initiator? I am the initiator. Who is the responder? He. And we both communicate with each other by direction. So sometimes he gives me a call, sometimes I give him a call. Sometimes site A initiate the VPN, sometimes site B initiate the VPN. Clear? Always it is what? Bidirectional. So in tunnel mode, the actual IP addresses, actual means the original IP address is hidden. Along with all the data within the packet are protected. Tunnel mode creates a new external IP address. In transport mode, IPsec headers are simply inserted in an IP packet, and it is called what? Transport mode. The original IP header is exposed and unprotected. Original one is exposed. Only data is protected. So it is up to you. If you really want to go to tunnel mode, it is by default. If you want to go for transport mode, you have to change the mode. Then only you can go for this mode. Clear? Now, many times what happens, people, when they give their contract, they always, start asking the interior designer, or you have given a contract to some contractor. So you are very, inquisitive about asking questions, come on, please tell me how you're going to do this, man. How you're going to design my bungalow, or how I'm going to design my flat. So this interior designer is explaining you that he is going to design your bungalow in some steps. So same way, I am also, very inquisitive about my thing, and I want to query IPsec VPN. Then come on, please tell me how you're going to do this VPN. So IPsec say, wait, I'll tell you. There are 5 steps that I'm going to follow. So what are those 5 steps? First, interesting traffic. Second, IKE phase 1, IKE phase 2. I'm talking about IKE version 1. I've still not started IKE version 2. First, we'll understand what is the what is IKE version 1, because then only you will get, see, whenever you appreciate someone, we always compare it with someone, no? Or something with bad. So when I visited that hotel, I ate that food. It was not that good. But when I visited this hotel food is very good. So I compare with that hotel. So same way, I'm comparing. I will first explain you IKE version 1, and then I will compare it with IKE version 2. So there will be a better understanding that what is the big difference that you have noticed between IKE version 1 and IKE version 2. Because this is an interview question. People might ask you. So when it comes to interesting traffic, no, first is interesting traffic, phase 1, phase 2. Phase 2 is also called as IPsec phase 2 also. Data transfer and tunnel termination. So what is interesting traffic? Interesting traffic is nothing but when it comes to, see, I don't want to send all the traffic inside the tunnel. See, I'm sitting in a hotel lobby and I also want to listen some music on YouTube. And I'm also connected with my company's server or network via tunnel. So I don't want to send all my traffic inside the tunnel. I want some traffic should go on directly on internet for YouTube videos or YouTube music. So I will make one requirement. We call it split tunnel. So whatever traffic that I want to go inside the tunnel, I will make a list of that traffic, and I'm going to call this as an interesting traffic. The traffic which has to go compulsorily inside the tunnel is called interesting traffic. Like for example, if I'm buying a car, I want my driver should take me to office, bring me from office every day, take my kids to school, take my wife to some mall for shopping, take my mom to some religious place, take my mom for walking and garden, wherever. So this is my family and this is my interesting traffic that I have given to my driver. So whenever I go and stand near the car, he will immediately start the car and take me to office because I am the interesting traffic. My wife comes and stand near the car, he will take her to mall. Interesting traffic. Kids come, take them to school. So all those I have mentioned in the access list will be considered as what? Interesting traffic. So guys, now we have to stop this session because I told you we have less time during the Ramadan. So we'll continue tomorrow with IPsec VPN. So please join part 2. It will take at least 3-4 lectures to finish theory and practical. Okay, so please don't miss VPN topic. It is very interesting topic and it is very, very important in terms of security. So Shreya, Jahangir, Sarath, Piyush, Adnan, good to see a lot of people join today. Okay, and I hope you understood. Saurabh, thank you for nice example. Okay, I always believe in giving example and make technical things, understand. Because if I go more technical, you'll feel sleepy and you won't understand a thing. So let's make it, in a simple format. Definitely, I also explained the technical terms, that what is the meaning of peer, what is the meaning of encapsulation, what is the meaning of phase, what is the meaning of interesting traffic. Okay. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye.